I giggle.
That's right. All right. We had a great day yesterday. Thank you for everybody who helped out, who came in, who donated, who gave us words of affirmation. It was a delightful day.
Yes. If you've been praying for us, if you've been sharing content, whatever you're doing to share the good.
Share the good. That's right. And I believe, I didn't check, but I believe we're streaming on Facebook and YouTube this morning. So hello to anybody watching.
Yeah, if you happen
YouTube.
to be awake.
Yeah. So we had these books yesterday that we were giving away. Today, I don't know if we should have a minimum for it for today. We've got 2 books to give away.
Double book day.
Double book day. So in addition to the Ave Maria Press book that we were giving away yesterday, we still have some of those to give away. Befriending St. Joseph by Deacon Greg Kendra. We've got a gaggle of books from OSV to give away as well. And again, this is funny. So I reached out to both OSV and Ave Maria Press expecting maybe one would respond favorably.
Both great friends of Redeemer Radio, longtime friends of Redeemer Radio.
Both have podcasts on
Spoke Street. Yeah.
I was hoping for like ebooks.
Yeah.
It would be easy, like didn't cost anything, a PDF or something like that. They both gave me the exact same response. We can't do that because codes are hard to finagle and all that.
They probably get that all the time.
Because of Kindle.
People will be like, can't you just give this to me?
Yeah.
It's free. They're like, no, it's not free.
But they both offered, we will give you real books, and we will mail them out for you. Just give us the addresses. So,
easy peasy. Easy for us, at least.
What Ave Maria Press did was, here's one book. We've got a bunch of copies. OSV gave us a bunch of different books.
I think this is going to be fun, actually. It puts a little more pressure on. It's more like a game show.
Yeah, it's a first come first serve.
Yes.
So what we're gonna do is the first person to donate. What would the minimum? Should we do like a $20 minimum?
Let's say 20 today. Yeah.
$20 or more.
We're talking about 2 books.
Yeah. Mailed to you. The first person to do that is going to get The Fisherman's Tomb. So we've got different books. So you get The Fisherman's Tomb and the St. Joseph book. Was it Befriending St. Joseph? So
you have to give the secondary title of this because this is what's going to make people interested.
I know. I'm like, what is it about?
It's The Fisherman's Tomb. The true story of the Vatican's secret search.
Do you remember this?
I do remember this. Do you remember the
John O'Neill.
The cover now, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to. It's like them discovering the burial place of Peter.
Of St. Peter, yes.
When they were doing excavations in the basilica.
Yeah. So it's like true crime is so popular right
That's
now.
right. Yeah.
This book is kind of like a Dateline episode. But in book form.
I'm trying to look up when we interviewed him. So anyway, you donate $20 or more right now. The first person is going to get both of those books sent to them. If you donate $150 or more, you get both books and the T-shirt. Share the good. Mm-hmm. $400 or more, you get the T-shirt, the 2 books, and you can be a day sponsor. And also, you can have that go toward any hour.
Yes.
So this was episode 455, I interviewed Tim Staples about Behold Your Mother and John O'Neill about The Fisherman's Tomb.
Oh, man, both of those books are good.
That was in 2018. Anyway, we probably have it on our shelf here. Mm-hmm. The Fisherman's Tomb, the true story of the Vatican's secret search, can be yours if you call or text the Holy Cross College text line, 260-436-9598.
While we're just going through things, it's super easy to give. You can go to redeemerradio.com, just click Give Now at the top, donate right there. You can use PayPal now. You can just Venmo us money, which I don't ever use, but Kyle is like, it's easy. You can just Venmo anybody.
So easy.
Yeah. So, which is weird. I was about to say I'm too old for Venmo, but you're like a whole decade older than me, so I don't know.
I'm hoping that Venmo kills the check.
Yes. Well, I also don't. I've never used checks. Yeah. Wow. No. Checks are like.
Pat and I stopped at a bodega when I was picking him up from the airport, and it says, we accept cash, debit card, credit card. And I was like, so they take everything. I was like, what else is there? And I'm like, oh, checks. Because it's been so long since I've thought of a check.
I know
But
how
we
to fill
do
out a
accept
check.
checks.
Anyway, yeah, you can pay us however you want.
Here they do. At the bodega, not so much.
We get a lot of
Checks.
donations through checks.
Yeah. So anyway, lots of ways that you can donate.
We even get checks through people's some kind of savings account. Never mind. Go on.
like you can set up direct deposit kinds of things like
EFT, is that what it is?
I was going to say EBT,
electronic
but that's
fund
the
transfer.
that's different. Yeah.
EPA.
It's something. Yeah.
So, but if you want the book, text us and with like an amount or something like that.
Yeah.
So we know, and then we'll move on to the next book.
Yeah, that's right. Remember, 2 books.
The Fisherman's
If
Tomb.
you are the
and
next person
Befriend St.
to
Joseph.
donate $20 or more.
Yeah. And this always it's always a slow start at 7 a.m.
Yeah,
We're kind of building up. So
I can imagine all of you bleary-eyed trying to drink your coffee.
that's right.
Yeah. Anyway, so our C-suite. You want to talk more about that?
Sure.
Because you have a new title too.
I do. So, yeah, Cindy is our Chief Executive Officer, our CEO, and that's kind of we're looking at Spoke Street and Redeemer Radio as 2 separate, but yet it's like brother and sister, right? We're still in the same family, but there's different roles for each organization. So I am the Chief Mission Officer for Spoke Street Media. We've got Mike as our Chief Financial Officer, and Pat, who you will meet on Friday. We're going to have him do this morning hour with us, is our Chief Marketing Officer. So, and then Andrea has, I'm sure most have heard by now, are the jockey of the podcasts.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about this the other day. I was like, I don't know if Podjock really gets the point across, but the curating and hosting. Yeah.
Podjock works internally. I don't know if it works as well
Right.
externally.
I'm curating the podcast and bringing you in and out of them.
Moderating. What would it,
hosting.
hosting. Yeah.
Whatever. Yeah, but that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I love it.
She's your podcast guide.
It really is like. I mean, just doing the morning show, I learned so much because I was forced to listen to every single hour multiple times, usually because editing and stuff. And it's like, you're getting, your job is to learn from all of these different podcasts, and we talked about some of the different genres. Do you have a favorite podcast personally?
Oh, that's so hard. I have so many favorites. I really do. They're really so good. One of my favorites is one. So this is actually something that we didn't say yesterday that I wanted to make sure I said today. Always be checking spokestreet.com because we are always adding new podcasts.
I added
the
2
network.
yesterday.
Yeah, we are always getting new people partnering with us in Spoke Street's mission. So definitely be keeping an eye on spokestreet.com. So with that said, one of the ones we most recently added is called Outside the Walls, and that one is one of my favorites.
We've been playing it in the podcast block quite a bit, but
But
TL
they're
Putnam
new.
just
They're
joined
new
the
to
network.
Spoke Street. Yep. TL Putnam. He sort of covers all kinds of topics, interviewing a lot of people that you probably have heard of before, and others that you maybe are doing ministries that you've never heard of before. Or sometimes, like a couple weeks ago, he just talked to his wife about what it's like for the two of them to live out Lent
He
as
said
two
that
converts.
that's kind of like the default if he doesn't have something lined up is go to his wife. But they're really interesting.
Yeah, he's a convert, and his whole family came into the church, and they're just really fascinating to listen to.
He works for Verbum, which is this like Catholic library app where you can get a free version and have like a Bible or something like that, but you can pay like $1,000, $2,000 for these huge libraries, and it's all cross-referenced. So if you could search for a term or whatever, but also you could be in the Bible and you're reading this passage, and you could say like, what does St. Thomas Aquinas say about this? And depending on what your library is, it's all cross-referenced.
So interesting.
It is crazy.
One that I've listened to for a long time, even before Spoke Street existed, is the Messy Family podcast.
Yeah.
They are like the epitome of just like balanced, real life, practical, but also inspiring.
Just the fact that it's called Messy Family. Like,
Yeah.
okay, you're not claiming to be perfect.
Yeah. And so it has not been on the podcast block yet because it just released at the end of last week. But even though we're skipping the podcast block most of this week, it's definitely going to be on because it's so good. Their most recent episode is about what being a submissive wife really means.
Oh.
Which is kind of a big topic in the Catholic world right now. It's a little bit of
there's a
little
book
bit of a
out, yeah.
controversy. But they just did such a great job sort of cutting through the sort of ridiculous extremes on one end and the other and saying like, this is what the heart of the church teaches. And it's amazing what the church teaches. It's empowering and for both the man and the woman, and it's great for families and all these things. So definitely check that out. If you don't want to wait for it to be on the podcast block, just go to spokestreet.com and click on the Messy Family podcast tile because it'll be the one at the top.
I feel a lot more comfortable with you telling people to listen to this episode about a submissive wife than me promoting an episode.
It really is so good. It really is good. You know what else? You know what another podcast I love is The Daily Refill.
Yeah.
I listen to it
Which
every single
you
day.
used to do.
I used to host it.
Yeah.
But really, I sort of went to Cindy and said, I'm happy doing this. It's fine, but I don't know if I'm doing it the best that it can be. I don't even know if I can do it the best that it can be because I'm just one person who's even though I try to think of other people's perspectives, like I am a 32-year-old mother of 3, raised Catholic husband, live in the Midwest. Like I just have a very particular perspective, whether I like it or not.
Yeah.
And then we had this idea of asking Alatea to partner with us because they, have the resources of literally an international news service where they're getting inspirational stories from all over the world. They have reporters covering the news. They have this whole database already made of saints of the day. And we were like, this could be perfect. Do you think they'll do it? And I still just love listening to it. I love their inspirational stories that they share. It's been amazing to hear them covering the war happening in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Father Patrick actually is there right now. Well, he's not
Poland.
in Ukraine. He's in Poland, like right at the border. So that has been really cool, too. I've really been enjoying that podcast, too. Cindy, do you have a favorite?
Oh, gosh. Let me say something else first. That's one of the things that actually led to Spoke Street is we have all these incredible partners. And even Redeemer Radio itself is well known across the country as being one of the best Catholic radio, affiliates that there are. And we have so many generous people. And then, partnerships with OSV, Ave Maria, Notre Dame, University of St. Francis, Exodus 90. I mean, the list,
Right.
We have so many good partners. And we've been so blessed in this little corner of the world that we think anytime we are blessed, it's not just for us.
Yeah.
It's for the world. So we are taking the blessings that we have here in northern Indiana and we're sharing it across the globe. So Spoke Street is going to take all the goodness that's been concentrated in this area and share it far and wide.
Well, and I think bringing together national and even international people that share in the mission. So, yeah, there's a lot from this area going out, but also I think we're kind of building a web of all of this great Catholic content that's welcoming, that's inviting, faithful to church teaching, and kind of connecting it and making these connections so that everything can be more effective.
Right, yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of partners, and one of our early partners, one of our shows that's been just like on fire lately is Church Life Today. That is hosted by Dr. Leonard DiLorenzo from the McGrath Institute for Church Life at Notre Dame. That show, they've just been having the most interesting conversations lately. And again, even that show was sort of just born out of me and Cindy being like, do you know who's doing great stuff is the McGrath Institute for Church Life. Like,
we were reading the journal
I
all
was
the
reading
time.
the journal all the time, their blog that goes along with their institute. I was like, they are having the most amazing articles. They're so inspiring. We're like, we should tell them to have a podcast. Even if all they did was interview the people who are writing for them, it would be amazing, you know? And so they have been doing that now for a few years, and it just like gets better and better. I love that show.
Yeah. So you asked my favorite, and
Yeah.
Church Life Today is definitely one of them. I probably share that one more than any other one. Somebody
Share
always,
the good.
yeah, somebody
Yep.
always comes to mind, and I'm like, oh, they would love like this, this talk about feminism or this like approach to pro-life or, yeah. Another one, well, I love Renovo, but the ones that I think we need to tap into more, and I'm so glad we have two of them, is mental health issues.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the doctors have done that, but then also we have St. Dimpna's playbook and Being Human.
Being human. Yeah.
Yeah.
Both of them are so
They are
good.
so
they're very different
good.
though,
Yep.
too.
Yes. And I love, wait a minute, which one stops and prays? That's St. Dimpna, right?
St. Dimna,
Yeah.
yeah. After,
Like
so
when
he
somebody-
does questions and answers.
Right.
This is Tommy Ty, if you've
Yeah.
ever heard of him. And he will ask for people to submit their questions about mental health topics. And he'll ask the question, or he'll say, this is the person's question. And then he'll say, before I answer that, let's stop and pray for this person who's suffering from OCD, or this person whose, husband has an addiction, or whatever the, and then he literally will just pray right there. And you're like, oh, I guess I'm praying for this person.
And that's the mystical
Yeah,
body of
it's amazing.
Christ. Yes, lifting each other up. And I always it's so good because we're just starting to discover, well, not just starting, but like mind, body, and spirit are all related. And we have the more we can grow in health, the more we're able to be who God created us to be, and the more we're able to help each other.
Yeah.
And,
We might not be just discovering it, but we're definitely appreciating it more now than ever.
Yes,
and
that's a good
and
way to-
realizing that this is something that needs to be addressed and not kind of swept under the rug or ignored or shamed. Have we given away this book yet?
we have not.
Okay, so first person to donate $20 or more, and just send us a text. Just say, "Hey, I'm in for the book," or "Here, take my $50 or $20 or
Even
$80.
if you're going to give online,
Yeah.
please just text us and let us know,
then
because that
we'll
way
move
we'll
on to the
be
next
able
book.
to tell
Yeah.
you
So you'll get
your book.
$20 more is going to get the Fisherman's Tomb, which is like this fascinating story about how they found St. Peter's grave when excavating the basilica, and Befriending St. Joseph by Deacon Greg Kendra. So you get both of those books with any donation, $20 or more this morning. Just text 260-436-9598. 260-436-9598. First one to text us is going to get that book, and then we'll move on. We got more books to give away this morning. Also, if you want to play our Tri-Bond this morning, same phone number. You found this one.
Yep.
Hopefully nobody
Just say
searches
it.
online the same
It's
place that
fine.
you found
You
it.
cheat. I don't mind. I don't even mind. A
No
little bit.
judgment.
It's fine.
Okay.
We got
finger- This is the first time. Oh, we got
the book.
Okay.
Woo!
Okay.
The
So
first book.
the next book. This might be the best one. What Christ Suffered.
It's so good.
This my wife is actually reading it right now. I got it for her for Christmas. That was what she wanted for Christmas.
Love it.
This is Dr. Tom McGovern, local
Another
host of
Spoke Street partner.
host of Doctor. Perfect for Lent. This is a doctor's journey through the Passion. What Christ Suffered. So this is oh my, the book is $27.95. So.
So for only $20,
For
you can get
a
that
$20
book
donation. You're going to get that
plus
book
another book.
and Befriending St. Joseph. That maybe we should have thought that through a little better. But take advantage of that. Any donation at all, $20 or more. So if you would do $150 or more, you get the T-shirt. And if you wanted to go toward another hour, the Tippmann Hour will double your money. If you've got a parish or a ministry that you want to support their hour, we'll apply that to that hour. This is not an official Sharathon hour, so we can do whatever we want.
Yeah, we're the bosses of this hour. So what Christ suffered, though, is you gave the sort of subtitle, but it's both the sort of a doctor explaining the medical aspects, like what medically would have been happening to Christ throughout his passion, like what based on both history and medicine. Talking about, well, what would a scourging really have been like? How would that have affected his body? One of my favorite things he goes through is what's actually happening when they say Christ was sweating blood.
Right.
like what do we know from medicine about what that actually is. I'm not going to give it away, but
that's
it's a real thing.
And it's not what I expect. That's the one thing that Kate told me after she's like, she read half of it so far, and she's like, and she went into this huge long explanation of that.
So it's some history and it's medicine, but it's also some spiritual reflections. It's going through the scripture and doing some spiritual reflections too. So it's a really cool book, and from our Dr. host, Tom McGovern.
First person to text us gets that book and Befriending St. Joseph. Also, though, our Tribon, we got interrupted there. Fingers, Hearts, Bridges.
I gave you guys an easy one.
I think I got it.
Because
Fingers, Hearts, Bridges.
I need easy ones.
Oh, so yesterday, our prize winner, a free game of Tribon, which I forgot to bring this morning, but I'll bring it tomorrow morning. Sandy Cruzy got that. So congratulations.
Yeah. And she's volunteering one of these days.
Okay,
yeah.
Hopefully.
I'll look.
Hopefully not today.
We'll
get it to you, Sandy. Today's Tribon, Fingers, Hearts, Bridges. Everybody that gets it right is going to get, I'm kind of excited about this. Andrea recently posted something about a ramen recipe, like 30-cent ramen, but you spice it up. Yeah. And I was like, well, yeah, what do you put in it? Like
whatever you want. That's the point. But I do something specific.
But you have a recipe for your 30-cent ramen.
Yeah. I'll share it with you.
Anybody that gets today's Tribon.
But by the way,
Hearts,
Tribon
Bridges.
is 3 things that have one thing in common.
Yeah,
if you are not sort of in the know about that. Oh, right. You can text.
I'm a little out of practice here.
The number. Have we been even telling them the number?
260-436-9598.
Luckily, Pat is here to remind us about things like that. We're just having so much fun talking about these podcasts. It's probably important for you to know the number if you're going to text us.
First person to text the donation, $20 more, is going to get the What Christ Suffered book, as well as Befriending St. Joseph. This is probably the best deal of Sharathon. I mean, we should have said it's like a $50 minimum, but we already said it's $20, so somebody's going to get a deal this morning. But you could be generous too.
Okay, that book's gone.
Oh, okay.
Laura got it.
Woo-hoo!
All right.
Thank you for your donation, for supporting us, and also enjoy your books.
Yes. I'm going to jot that note down. The next book we have is St. Michael the Archangel, which this book is another OSV book by James F. Day. And there's no subtitle. It just says...
No, it is what it is.
It says, in St. Michael the Archangel, you'll discover the fascinating biography, in quotes, of the angel whose mission from God is to do battle against Satan and all the evil spirits, weaving together scripture, history, papal documents, and popular devotion. This sounds fascinating.
Yeah, right?
Fills in the gaps of our knowledge about St. Michael, revealing the impact the mighty defender has on individuals, the church, and the world. I think this is really interesting. And also, I think there's such a greater awareness, at least in our diocese, of St. Michael, now that during COVID, a lot of the parishes were praying that after Mass. We're still praying it after Mass. Apparently, some have stopped. I don't know. That was a question that was submitted for Bishop, like, why did we stop praying this after Mass? I was like, oh, they didn't
I know,
stop
and he
at
was
my
kind
church.
of like, I don't see any reason why you should.
Yeah. So St. Michael the Archangel is the name of the book. You can get it at OSV, and you could get it now as well as Befriending St. Joseph with any donation, $20 or more. First come, first serve. So just text us 260-436-9598 if you'd like a copy of that book. And
there are some good books coming too, so you guys got to knock these out.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, and also I do want to remind people about our very cool T-shirts this year. If you are a regular giver, you maybe are always donate. I know my mom, for example, is always donating because she wants a T-shirt. I mean, she's donating because she's generous and kind, right? But also because she wants a T-shirt. And these are my favorite T-shirts we've ever had.
It's funny. So I was wearing mine yesterday, and I picked up the kids from school, and Sebastian, my oldest, he's 12. He's like, that is the coolest shirt. Is that the shirt from Redeemer Radio? He's like, that's the coolest shirt you guys have ever had.
Yes, exactly. Agreed.
So a 12-year-old likes it too.
We've had some cool ones. We've had some good ones. I'm not saying the other ones weren't good, but it says, share the good. And you left us in suspense yesterday.
Yeah.
About the hand lettering.
Yeah. So it's an artist. Her name is Gracie.
Yeah.
I'm not sure her married name. Her maiden name is Gracie Wilson. Her dad, his name is Tom Wilson, and he played Biff in Back to the Future.
What?
Yeah.
What?
So Catholic family. Her sister is Emily Wilson Husson. She's a Catholic speaker.
Yeah.
I've been on team with her at several Steubenville conferences and youth events.
Wow. Okay. Yeah. That's not where I thought you were going.
So you can have a shirt designed by Biff's daughter. She's a great artist and hand letterer, and so
they
were
look
like, "Hey,
so
we need something."
cool.
Yeah.
They really do.
Yeah, yeah. It's light blue. It's super comfy, soft. Yeah.
And like, who doesn't want to walk around with a shirt that says "Share the Good" on it?
Share the good. Yeah. It's I like it that it's not like super preachy.
Yeah.
Like it's not going to offend anybody.
Yeah. It's like those shirts. They used to be super, super popular for like a couple of years. They would say like "Be kind" on them.
Yeah.
You know, just like something super generic, but you're like, yeah, okay. You'd like nod every time you see it, like, yeah, okay, I got you.
Like I agree.
Yeah,
That's a good piece of advice.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
It's better than the sassy things. I hate it when I see sassy T-shirts.
Oh,
Sassy T-shirts. Now I just want to get you a T-shirt that says "sassy shirt." This is my sassy shirt. Okay, T-shirts are for anybody that donates $150 or more, and that can be a one-time donation, or you could break it up a monthly donation, or however you want to do it. That's basically what it costs us for an hour of operations, like everything combined here at Redeemer Radio. I mean, one of the most expensive things is running the towers and the equipment and stuff. Like, podcast is relatively cheap compared to radio. But we want to be wherever people are. And if people listen in their cars, they're hitting buttons, they're hitting scan. Like, who knows what... And well, I guess we know because we've heard stories of what has happened.
I saw Brittany Sunday. She was at St. Vincent's.
Awesome. So
Yes.
Brittany...
it might sound like wishful thinking. We're like, oh, you never know. Somebody might just hit scan and find Redeemer Radio.
Right.
But it's not wishful thinking. We know that this happens.
Yeah. Yeah, Brittany has shared her story with us that she wasn't Catholic, but she just hit one of the presets in her car, which she didn't set to be Redeemer Radio, but somehow it was, and started listening to Redeemer Radio over a lunch break in her car instead of whatever else, music or talk radio, and
the message of God spoke to her heart.
Converted to Catholicism.
Yeah.
So that's because of the generous donations of people like you that are listening.
Oh, and you were
so that
talking
is
about
even possible.
coming up later today on Bishop Rose's Hour. He's going to tell a story about a convert who converted because of Bishop Rose's show.
Yeah, we were recording one day and we finished, and afterwards he left me a voicemail. I got a voicemail and I didn't recognize the phone numbers. I didn't answer. And he's like, "Hey, this is Bishop. I forgot to tell you when we were recording, but I was at the Rite of Election, and somebody said that the reason that they were joining the church was because of listening to Truth and Charity."
Amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, today at noon is Bishop's Hour. If you want to hear a little more about that story, and he also answers questions left over from Rekindle the Fire. We do a speed round on Lent. We pre-recorded the whole thing because he wasn't available today at noon, but you can listen to that today at noon. You could donate to that hour right now, as well as any of the other hours, or you could donate to the Tipman Hour and double your money. We will apply your donation during this hour to any hour that you would like.
Yes. And you do that by texting 260-436-9598.
You got a round of applause from Pat.
Pat is like, you guys stop talking. Get people to donate.
436-9598. Or you can go online to redeemerradio.com and you can select whatever hour. And if it comes in during this hour, you will also get the benefits from whatever it is.
Well,
the
but
book.
we need to
the
know
book needs to be
We do.
texted.
If you're going to give online, please
books.
do that. We would be so happy for you to do that. It's one less step, whatever, if it's easier for you. But also, please take one extra minute or 30 seconds to text the text line so that we can,
if you want,
we can check you off for your book. Yeah.
St. Michael the Archangel and Befriending St. Joseph. So you can learn about St. Joseph and St. Michael.
Amazing. So fun. Why don't we go through the hours that are coming up today really fast? We're halfway through this hour. So we have Women's Care Center coming up at Cindy is doing, if you're watching on the stream right now, Cindy and Kyle are literally like doing hand signals at each other, and it's very funny. Anyway.
She's trying to figure out the Tribon answer.
Oh.
And
No, I'm saying, are we taking a bottom of the hour break?
Oh. I thought, because I was like, that could work for, that's not what I was thinking.
Somebody guessed
my
that,
gosh.
though.
Oh.
And I was like, that wasn't what we
No,
were thinking.
we don't take a break.
No. We
Oh,
just power
okay.
through.
Yeah,
You're
this
stuck
is-
with us. Yeah.
Okay,
This
well, poor Brenda is sitting
We don't
here.
follow the rules.
Brenda
Sharathon.
guessed the tri-bond, and I've been waiting to find out what it really is because I was texting somebody about a book while you guys said it, and I don't remember.
Well, the tri-bond is fingers, hearts, bridges.
Okay, now I
Jeff.
remember what
All
the
Jeffs.
Jeffs. Oh, man. Anyway, so coming up on Sharathon today, if any of these hours pique your interest, let us know that you want to donate to those hours, but do it right now.
Yeah.
So Women's Care Center is coming up at 8. There's always a great match in that hour, and they are one of our favorite partners. They do such great work in our community and the whole country. They're amazing. Then at 9 is half Bishop Luers, half Bishop Dwenger. Got them sharing an hour now. It's like real community building here.
Or battle.
We're bringing the people together. No. It's not about
who
the
could-
battle
who
on
could raise
Redeemer
the more
Radio.
money?
It's not about the battle.
No.
We're bringing the people together.
Okay.
We mend. We bridges, right? That's from
One of the
Trimon.
Tribons.
Okay, so Bishop Luers and Bishop Dwenger, 9. So Bishop Dwenger will be the second half, 9:30 to 10, and Luers will be first. Not that I'm picking sides here or anything, but maybe you want to tune in for the first part of that hour before you go into work. So 10 a.m. St. Anthony in South Bend, 11 St. Paul of the Cross. They're from Columbia City. They'll be here in our Fort Wayne studio. So then noon will be Bishop Rose's hour, pre-recorded with Kyle. Basically just an episode of Truth and Charity, right? So it's like a special episode.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit more fun.
More fun.
A little
I like
bit lighter.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
And extended, because most of the episodes of Truth and Charity are only about half an hour now.
We've been trimming it down, yeah.
Yeah. So an extended edition and more fun. Love that.
And video. We
Yeah.
don't usually do video for the show, but it'll be streaming on Facebook and YouTube.
Love it. Love it. Okay, 1 p.m., Holy Family and St. John the Baptist parishes up in South Bend. 2 p.m., St. Mary of the Assumption from Decatur, Kyle's home parish. Do you know who's coming for that hour?
I do. Well, we've got
I do,
got
but
4 people that said that they could come, and Father Dave, and I was like, well, 5 people. That's kind of a lot to cram in here. That'd be great if you all want to come, but if somebody can't, that's okay.
The
but-
more the merrier, Kyle.
Well, yeah, okay.
Okay.
There were a couple that were on the fence. One is a funeral home director and convert.
Oh.
So I thought he'd have some interesting things to say.
Yes.
One is a jeweler and president of the finance council.
Okay, wow.
One is makes meals for the not really homeless, but we have there's kind of a housing, an old motel that there's a lot of people that are living in that kind of need a little extra assistance.
Cool.
And they make meals for them, as well as third order Carmelite. So there's some interesting things there. And then our school board president, who's also a counselor.
Wow.
And very passionate about Catholic education.
Okay, this hour is going
Yeah.
to be amazing. I'm like setting an alarm right now. Okay, my kids are just going to have to deal with it. We're living in the St. Mary's Assumption hour. Okay, that's 2 p.m., by the way, in case anyone like me wants to set an alarm. 3 p.m., St. Therese Little Flower. I grew up at St. Therese in Fort Wayne, and we said Therese. But they say St. Therese.
Yeah.
Or they just say Little Flower. They
Right,
mostly
right.
just say Little Flower. But that's 3 p.m. They'll be up in South Bend. And
They'll
then,
have to travel far for that one.
yeah, right.
The studio in South Bend is at
Is like in their
Little
basement.
Flower,
Yeah. 4 p.m. St. Elizabeth over here in Fort Wayne. And then 5 p.m. Moore High School, Marion and St. Joseph. These are people who are interns for us.
Oh, good.
We have our sports program still running up in South Bend for high school sports. And Aunt has this amazing program where it's like a class that these high school kids can come and be interns and learn how to run equipment and do media. And they like interview their like classmates who are on sports teams and do all kinds of social media stuff. So a couple of the interns are going to be on from 5 to 6 p.m. up in
It's a
South
really
Bend.
cool program.
Yeah. So that's the lineup for today.
And you can find that go to redeemerradio.com, just click on Sharathon.
It's
you
an
can
enormous
find
button. You cannot miss the Sharathon button.
And all of these hours are streaming on Facebook and YouTube, so you can share those links even in advance. So all the links are at the website, so whenever it goes live, they'll use that. So you can say, hey, at noon, click on this link, and you can share that on Facebook. You can... There are events on Facebook, so you can say that you're going to attend the event, and then Facebook will send you a reminder, hey, this is happening now. And once it happens, you can send it. And even after it. So, like, if you were listening yesterday, all of those hours yesterday are available if you go to redeemerradio.com, click on Sharathon. You can rewatch an hour. You can watch it for the first time if you missed it, and you can share those. Share the good.
So if you go to redeemerradio.com, you can also give money there. We'd really love if you would do that, because that's the whole point. But also, I'm hoping that Pat's listening so he can clap for me. 260-436-9598. That is where you can text us. If you give $20 or more, you can have 2 free books. Very exciting. And if you give $150 or more, you can have our Share the Good t-shirt, which I've been talking up every single day because it's amazing.
Did we give away the
Mine is just
St.
dirty
Michael
right now.
book yet, Cindy?
Oh, yes, we did.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. We're moving on.
The
next book. This
next
is the
book.
one I think I'm most excited about.
This is Carlo Acutis, the first millennial saint.
He was just beatified like maybe a year ago, 18 months ago.
And I think they're saying, like, this is the first, he's not a saint yet.
18 months
but
ago. Yes.
Nice.
Right on it.
To play video games.
Yes. And he like built a website.
Yeah.
He was like super modern. Like he was so cool.
I mean, a normal kid.
He was really close. Actually, he was like my husband's age. He's a couple years younger than me, but super close to my age. He's a millennial. Yeah.
He died at the age of 15 in 2006.
Yep.
Yeah. So, I mean, I kind of wonder if this would be a good book for my kids.
Yeah.
I assume so.
Yeah. So it's just the story of his life and some of his family. His family, they're still like alive around. His parents are still living. Yeah. Like he has siblings. Actually, his story is so amazing because actually he was an only child and his parents had more children after he died.
Oh.
They didn't think they would have any more children, but they did.
Cool.
Such a cool story. I'm not going to give the rest of it away, but definitely you want this book. So $20 or more. Definitely text us. You can give online. Please do, by all means. But text us if you want to be the person who gets this book. 260-436-9598.
It's available at osvcatholicbookstore.com as well. So our thanks to OSV for donating that book and to Ave Maria Press for donating the Befriending St. Joseph books. So you get both books, Carlo Acutis and Befriending St. Joseph. If you are the next person to text us, and say that you're going to donate any amount that's $20 or more. And if you donate $150 or more, you'll get both books and a t-shirt that says Share the Good. And $400 or more would get a day sponsor. Mm-hmm. If you want to honor a friend, a loved one, your marriage, a priest, your parish, you just want to call attention to a saint feast day that you're really hyped on, whatever you want to do. $400 or more gets day sponsor and t-shirt and 2 books.
Oh, you know what we haven't said yet today? You'll also make us feel special.
Yeah.
We've been so humble today.
That's right.
I need your recipe.
Oh, my recipe.
So
sure,
that I can
sure.
text it.
That's right. Anybody who gets today's Tri-Bon is going to get Andrea's
it's not my recipe,
secret
but
recipe.
I'm going to share the recipe that I use.
Okay.
Because it's better than something that I would come up with by myself. But you want it. Trust me. It's great. It's delicious.
I was listening to Catholic Answers last night on Redeemer Radio. And somebody asked if they like to, when they're having conversations with people about the Catholic faith, they'll copy things from Catholic Answers website and paste it. It's like, is that okay? He said, yeah. Tim Staples like, yeah, just give us an attribution, to say like, this was an article that I found that Cy Kellett wrote and was plagiarizing Jimmy Akin. Like, I stole this from Cy Kellett, who stole it from Jimmy Akin.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
Have we given away this Carlo Acutis book yet?
Oh,
I didn't say what the Tri-Bon was. I got distracted there. So you're going to get Andrea's favorite recipe for 30-cent ramen noodles to make them better. Spice it up. How spicy are we talking here?
Well, so this is a secret. If you get the recipe from me, this is a secret about how to make it. Just use the cheapest ramen noodles, instant ramen from the store that you can find. She does not use instant ramen because she's an actual accomplished chef. But I use just regular old cheap ramen. So I make 3 packages, set aside just plain one, basically like the equivalent of one package.
So we're talking 90 cents now?
90 cents.
Okay.
So I set aside one basically for my girls to eat. They call it worm soup.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
I can see that.
And then in like a little frying pan, I do the spices. Pretty spicy for my husband. Not going to lie. It's the last time I made it, he kept saying, wow, this is spicy.
Okay.
I was like, is it too spicy? Like 3 different times I had to say, is it too spicy? He was like, no. It's just, wow, spicy.
Okay.
I'm like, well, it must be spicy if you're commenting on it through the whole entire meal. Anyway, so I make his first, take it out, and then I make mine. I do not like spicy food, but I want it to taste like something, right? So I make mine in his, so it gets the like glaze off of the bottom.
Residual.
Yes.
Okay.
So it's just a tiny bit spicy, but not like crazy, So that's a secret if you want to have a little spicy, but not a lot spicy. So anyway, it's just sort of, I would say like I would say the closest it would get is probably like to like a Thai food.
Okay.
This recipe, but anyway, it's delicious and it's very cheap.
So that recipe is going to anybody who gets today's Tri-Bond. 3 things that have one thing in common: fingers, hearts, bridges.
Oh, and it's meatless, so it's perfect for lunch.
Oh, good. Yeah. Fingers, hearts, bridges. Text your answer to 260-436-9598. We'll give you that recipe as your prize. And you can also text that number with a donation of any amount. You could say, I'd like to donate $5 or $5 a month. I think sometimes we think, my donation isn't going to make a huge difference. The monthly donations are great for us because that's something that we can kind of...
It helps us keep up with like our cash flow, like whatever is, whatever it is that we need to.
And like, there's so many things
budget.
that we do monthly payments for, like, that we...
Internet, phone service, like our, like tower upkeep, like all of the things that our podcast hosting sites. Like,
I was thinking personally, like there's so many monthly payments.
These
like,
are the needs
to make a monthly
of
donation
Redeemer Radio
as well.
and Spoke Street.
Yeah.
We have a lot of things that are paid monthly.
Right,
but
right,
yes,
right.
You're right. There are so many things. What was it that you said in the last Sharathon that like really stuck in my heart and made me feel super guilty? The good kind of guilt. You were like saying something about like I spend this much on secular media.
Yeah.
Like what? And I was like, oh my God. I started like tallying it in my head. And I was like ashamed.
Like not even like asking you to give more than that to Catholic media. Like what if you just matched that?
Or even just like if you are giving whatever. Like for example, I spend $5 a month extra to subscribe to PBS Kids. Which is 100% worth it for my family. And I'd definitely rather my kids watch that than some other obnoxious thing. But I was like, if I can spend $5 a month on PBS Kids, I can definitely spend $5 a month on Redeemer Radio, right? Like that's sort of the thing. It doesn't have to be, you're paying the same amount as your cable bill or whatever. But like just to be thinking like, this is valuable. Mm-hmm. And even if it's not valuable for me, for me every single time, it's valuable for someone. It's really helping people know Christ. And that is more important than Disney Plus or Hulu or whatever, right? So doesn't have to be matching, but whatever you can spare per month is something that's worth investing in.
Well,
we do have a winner of that book.
Okay.
Ooh, thank you so much.
We have 3 copies of this next book. It's The Big Hustle, which is Jim Wahlberg, who is Mark Wahlberg's brother.
Yes.
A Boston Street kid's story of addiction and redemption. It was made into I don't know if the book was made into a movie or the movie was also adapted as a book or if they were completely unrelated. But there was a movie about him. I don't know what that was called.
Anyway, if you want the book, you should text 260-436-9598. with your donation of $20 or more.
You get The Big Hustle and Befriending St. Joseph. So The Big Hustle is from OSV. Befriending St. Joseph is from our friends over at Ave Maria Press. And so you can get both of those books with any donation, $20 or more, $150 or more, and you get the T-shirt and the 2 books. So that's a bargain of a lifetime.
260-436-9598. Pat is saying we should get the text line filled up. Let me clarify. You can never fill it up. Every single one of you can text right now. It will come right through.
Bottomless. You can also text the answer to today's tribe on fingers, hearts, bridges, and get the recipe.
Fun fact. I am related to a Wahlberg by 2 marriages.
By 2 marriages?
We're both married into the same family. I am married to my husband, and his aunt is married to a Wahlberg.
Oh.
The oldest Wahlberg, in fact.
I thought you were married into the family twice.
Periodically,
like
I say to my husband, because they have little kids. My husband is like the oldest, and Artie's wife is like the youngest, so our kids are the same age. I'm like, honey, your cousins are Wahlbergs. Like real Wahlbergs, the real ones.
The real ones.
Yeah, fun fact. Anyway, so get this book about my family.
260-436-9598. We've got about 13 minutes before the real Sharathon kicks in. This is fake Sharathon hour here with Kyle Heimann.
Oh, the
and
foreword of
Andrea
this book is
Serrani.
written by Jim Caviezel.
Oh, there you go.
There you go, guys. So $20 or more, 260-436-9598. Another book that is $27.95, and you will be getting it, and another book, and supporting the mission of Redeemer Radio for just $20. Come on, it's the best deal you're going to get today for sure.
Yeah, and maybe you feel a little guilty about that, and you want to donate $50. That's fine. That's
or
fine.
$150 and get my favorite T-shirt ever that says "Share the Good." And
my
it's
son's
like
favorite shirt.
An excellent blue color, super soft. I know Kyle and Cindy have been picking this like material, and it's.
He just ripped it off the wall.
It's super soft.
She was petting it very heavily.
Oh man, heavy petting happening in the studio.
So, real quick, before we kind of wrap this up and hand things over to the Women's Care Center, which is always a fun hour.
Yes. You can donate now to the Women's Care Center, by the way.
Yeah.
260-436-9598.
And phones are on now, so you can call or text. There we go.
Is there anybody to answer them?
Is Becky?
You can just go ahead and text. It's fine.
Call and ask for
Cindy's
Becky.
here to hold down the text line. Anyway.
We've got 3 copies of The Big Hustle. We've got a copy of Befriending St. Joseph. Next 3 people are going to get both books. Podcasts.
Yes.
Actually, this is supposed to be Cindy was supposed to be our guest today, and we've just been putting her to work this whole time.
Yeah. That's
Miriam's coming in tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Pat is going to be here Friday. What, Cindy, are you most excited about with some of the plans for the future, the new kind of structure of things?
What I'm most excited about is reaching people that we're currently not reaching. That, we love our listeners who are super faithful. They never miss Mass. In fact, maybe probably go to daily Mass. They're frequenting the sacraments. But God wants to have a relationship with every person.
Right.
And so I think our content now is going to help draw in people who have felt rejected or didn't think that Christianity had anything to offer them. So being able to share Christ and also help those of us who want to evangelize to know how to do it, to have tough conversations, to journey with our brothers and sisters. And I did want to share the story about a young woman that I met who, actually I met her in a bar, and she thought that because I worked for a Catholic radio station that I wouldn't be friends with her because she has
because her
same-sex
impression
attraction.
of Catholics is that they wouldn't be friends with someone like her for whatever reason.
Yes.
Doesn't even
There
matter.
we
There's
go.
so many people who think that way,
Right.
That, oh, you know what? And it's so sad that really is a growing percentage of people who are like, even if it's totally based on misunderstanding, it always is.
Right.
They're just like, no, those are not the people for me. Those people don't want me. Not I don't want them.
Right.
Those people don't want me.
And that's what she the first couple of times we like went to lunch and coffee together, she was just like, why are you hanging out with me? And I'm like, because you are good. You reveal God to me. And that's the lesson we need to be giving every person out there, is that they are made in the image and likeness of God. And we value them because of our understanding of God, not whatever's going on in their life that makes them think that they're outside of our love and acceptance.
Right. And people can feel rejected because of a misunderstanding. But unfortunately, a lot of times it's also because of the poor behavior of us. Like, if we're not living the gospel message and treating people with love and respect, they're going to feel rejected by the people that are claiming to be followers of Christ. And so that's one of the things we're very careful about and intentional about. And the reason that you're listening to every single episode of every single show before we air it on the radio is we want to make sure that it is respectful of the listener, regardless of where they are on their journey, that it's loving and it's not shying away from difficult topics. It's not shying away from the truth, but it's presenting that in a loving way and a charitable way.
Yeah. And really how Jesus met people.
Right.
He knew like what their role in society was, and he met them where they were. Oh.
Right.
Yay. Thank you, Angie. Thank you for your donation. Anyway, I think Pat is keeping an eye on the text line for you, Cindy, so I don't think you need to worry about it right now.
Okay.
But we still do have 2 more copies of that book. What is it? The Big Hustle? Yeah, The Big Hustle. And so 2 more copies of that and the book Befriending St. Joseph, 260-436-9598. You can text right now. Let us know that you want to give money, and we will give you these 2 books, $20 or more, 260-436-9598.
So Angie Roth made the donation. She is a parishioner and basketball coach at St. Vincent's. And maybe there are other people from St. Vincent's that would like to donate as well.
Maybe you missed your hour yesterday, but as I was saying earlier, it's not too late. We can still apply it actually to the hour from yesterday if you want, because this is our hour and we get to do whatever we want.
And I think St. Vincent's didn't quite meet their goal yesterday, right. So you could help kind of top that off.
Oh, I did want to say, if you did donate online yesterday, actually during Sacred Heart Hour and St. Vincent's Hour, our online donation, the company we use, the platform, was backed up, and then they got like over 100 all like at 1 or 2 o'clock yesterday.
Got it.
Great.
So now we're sorting through, like assigning them to whatever parish.
Cool. Well, I was just going to say about the content, we've had some people who loved our programming already, who before we made some of the changes, and who were concerned, well, I don't know if it's for me, or I don't know if it's going to be watered down, or if it's going to be, for, only for people who are not already Catholic or whatever. And that could not be further from the truth. I mentioned this yesterday, but like there's like not a category of person who fits more like in the club than me, right? Like I just tick all of the boxes of like in the Catholic club. And every single day, every single podcast, I'm like, this is so good. I wish everyone I knew would listen to this, right? And some of it, and all of it is faithful to the church. That's part of the curating that we do. I know everything is going to be faithful to church teaching, and I'm blessed to know a lot about church teaching, so I can verify that. And so it's always going to be faithful to church teaching, and it's always going to be charitable. Those are basically the 2 things. And being charitable is not being soft. Some of these podcasts are very challenging. Some of them are like make me a little bit squirmy and like, oh man, like I really should be doing better, or I really could be more charitable, praying better. I could be, even reading more or knowing more or finding out more or whatever. Like there are some that are really stirring my heart to growing closer to Christ and doing better. But it's always in a way that is inspiring me to do it, not making me feel bad that I haven't already. Like, that's always just saying like, you can do this and you should, because God wants you. He loves you. Yeah. And then I'm like, that's so true. Like I really should. And that's what we want. That's the message we want people to hear. If they are going to hear something that's challenging, we want them to hear, yes, it's hard, but the reason that you should do it anyway is that God desires you. And so we don't want just like constant, all the bad things, all the things you should be afraid of, all the things you should feel bad about not doing already or whatever. We want that message. If the message is going to be hard, which sometimes it is, we want it to be coupled with, but God loves you.
Yeah.
The reason that this matters to you, even though it's hard, is that God loves you.
You know what's not hard? Calling or texting.
Yep, exactly.
260-436-9598. And you can help evangelize your neighbors and the world by simply calling or texting support right now to 260-436-9598.
We've only got 4 minutes left, and then we're going to hand it over to the Women's Care Center. We do have books to give away, so if you donate right now, text us. I don't know where we are. We had 3 of the Jim Wahlberg books.
We've given 1 away for sure.
Yeah. So I think we might have 2 more of those, and everybody's also going to get the Befriending St. Joseph book. So Big Hustle is from OSV. Befriending St. Joseph is from Ave Maria. Any donation, $20 or more, is going to basically be getting $40 worth of books. And also, you're supporting Redeemer Radio. So win-win situation. If you donate $150 or more, you can get the T-shirt. And again, you can apply this to any hour that's happening today or tomorrow or Friday or yesterday, and we'll apply it to that hour. If you want to, if you don't know, you don't care, you can donate to the Tippmann Hour, and your money's doubled.
Yep.
Just text us so that we know that the book is claimed, and we'll get your address and make sure that gets mailed out to you. The Big Hustle and Befriending St. Joseph. What you were saying, Andrea, is I think faithful to church teaching is the what.
Yep.
It's welcoming and inviting is the how.
Yes.
Like we need to. It's what we say and how we say it, both. Like
Right.
you can't just say like, well, what I said was true. Yeah, but the way you said it was inappropriate.
Right. The truth is the truth, whether you're telling people about it or not. Like
Yeah.
it just doesn't need you. Like it is true. But Jesus didn't say like, go and just say true things.
Insult your neighbor.
Yeah.
Like be rude and.
He said, go
inconsiderate.
evangelize
Yeah.
all nations.
Right.
Evangelization is not just saying true things. Evangelization is bringing people to Christ. And so it matters how you do it, because just saying true things isn't bringing anyone to Christ. I mean, maybe it's bringing a couple people who just like are inspired by just the intellectual version of it. But people are only going to accept those things if there's a reason, like you said, if there's a why. And I can't tell you the number of times that I have been listening to one of the podcasts from our podcast box and just thought, if people heard this, and then I'm like, oh, I'm so excited that people are going to hear this. If people heard this, they would know that God loves them, and they would know that this path toward him, with all its ups and downs, is worth it. And that's the whole point. That is evangelization. And you can sort of do it passively by just supporting Redeemer Radio right now. You can let the podcast do the work for you to a certain extent. If you just send in some support to help us here at Redeemer Radio and Spoke Street. So 260-436-9598 is the text line. You can let us know how much money you want to give to support the work that we're doing.
And this whole time, and we didn't talk about Pope Francis consecrating Russia and Ukraine to Mary. I think maybe that's something we talk about tomorrow morning a little bit. So tune in tomorrow morning. We'll be here from 7 to 8 a.m. kicking off our Sharathon. You can find today's hours as well as Thursday and Friday if you go to RedeemerRadio.com.
You can listen to the
Sharathon.
Daily Refill today, by the way, and hear all about Pope Francis consecrating Russia and Ukraine.
You can find that at spokestreet.com.
Yep.
Click on the Daily Refill right there, or subscribe in your favorite podcast app.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody, for supporting us this morning. It's been a lot of fun. We'll be here tomorrow. Miriam's going to be joining us. We're going to be handing things over here to our friends at Women's Care Center, kicking off this next hour of officially Sharathon. So feel free to text, to call in, to donate. All that information is going to be coming up in this break right now, so I don't even need to say it. But tune in all day for Redeemer Radio. Support it if you're able to, and keep us in your prayers. We're going to keep going here with our Spring Sharathon here on Redeemer Radio.
You are listening to Sharathon on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM WRDF, Columbia City, Fort Wayne, 95.7 FM WRDI, Napanee, Michiana, and streaming on the Redeemer Radio app. Stay tuned to your listener-supported local Catholic radio station.